Hey everybody. So I did a video actually yesterday, and I was talking about this, I guess, new place where I find myself. And I've been giving a lot of thought to whether pre-retirement is actually a thing. Um, you know, it, my whole life I've heard that you work up until you retire. And then when you retire, it's kind of a separate, distinct state, I guess, state of existence. But I was laid off about, well, maybe 3.5 months ago or so, and I've been living what I imagine would be, what my life would be like as somebody who's fully retired. And I'm not really sure that I'm ready for that yet. Um, it's an interesting sort of an interim state that I find myself in. So I've been thinking a lot about a concept. I can't think of any better term than pre-retirement. And I think I'll do a separate video on what I think pre-retirement is. But I'm actually wondering really if it's a thing, if it's something that you can actually do, um, do successfully, do in a satisfying way. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Ben. I appreciate you watching. Welcome. I think I'm going to do a string of videos, kind of on this journey that I'm on, because I can't believe, or I can't imagine that I'm the only person that's going through this right now. So anyhow, I'm 59. I was laid off, like I said, roughly 3.5 months ago. And like I said, I've been experiencing what I think retirement is probably going to be like for that last 3.5 months. And I'm not really sure that this is what I want yet. I'm not sure I'm ready to fully retire. So I know that if I want to maintain my current lifestyle, I can't really just stop working. I do need to generate some sort of income. Um, really love my current lifestyle, so I don't really have any desire to make any big changes that would scale back and allow me to fully retire. I could eliminate some expenses, but I don't think that'd be really fair to my wife. She really loves our lifestyle too. So, and the other consideration is she still works and she has no desire to retire anytime soon. I don't think. Maybe she would, but she's got a great career and she, I think, enjoys the work. Um, so yeah, it's kind of interesting dynamic, and like I said, I think there's probably plenty of people out there that are in my sort of a situation. So if you are, I appreciate you watching this. Throw some comments down there on what you're going through. I'd be really curious to know. So some things I've been thinking about. I have worked from home for a lot of years, long before COVID kind of started that trend. And I have been fortunate enough to have had a very good work-life balance through the majority of my career. I'm working on an alternative or an alternate source of income, but it's not fully developed yet, so I can't really rely on that just yet. So I'm considering maybe taking contracts, working on contract while I develop that side hustle, I guess you could call it. So I'm not really looking for, I guess what you'd say, a traditional job, a career type job. I've been there, I've done that. Careers are very demanding, and that's not where I find myself right now. I don't draw my identity from my job or my title anymore. I'm past that. So working is taking on a very different meaning for me now at this stage of my life. So I'm wondering if pre-retirement is kind of a kind of quasi-retirement at where I am right now, if that's really what I'm looking for. It's a very strange place. And there are a lot of things about working that I miss, that I enjoyed. So some of the things that I think are going to be really important to me, assuming that I do continue to work, are I want to feel more relaxed about working, and I want to be in more control of my time. Um, I want to shed a lot of the stress that came with, pursuing a career and kind of driving hard, through working. I want When I'm not working, I don't want to be thinking about work. I want freedom of my time. I'm willing to donate some of my time for work, but when I'm not working, that's my time. I want to be spending. I want to spend that time fully present in my life outside of work. But I do realize that there are things that I miss about working, things that I really, I don't know, valued. Now that I don't have them, I didn't realize I enjoyed them as much as I did. One of those things is structure. So work absolutely puts structure on you. It dictates how your day flows. And without work, it's pretty easy to your day just kind of floats along. Some people love that. I'm finding that I kind of miss that structure. The other thing is interacting with people. I'm kind of not a loner, not a hermit, but I don't mind spending time just by myself. But I do enjoy interacting with other people, and I don't do that anywhere near as much since I stopped working. So I do think that there's a lot of value. There's a lot of different types of value in working beyond just the paycheck. So now that I've experienced what retirement is probably going to feel like, I'm really hoping that I can strike a happy medium where I can work and earn, and get those other benefits from working, but have that separation when I'm not working, and feel like I'm in control of my time. Feel like work isn't tugging at me when I'm not working, and just strike that balance. So some other considerations that I've been thinking about, and I want to share it with you, is that because my wife works and she's not considering retiring anytime soon, it's not like we can just pick up and take a trip and travel. She's constrained by limitations on PTO and things like that, paid time off. The other thing is we have aging parents that are nearby, and they need us, right? There's a lot of things that we do for them that they can't do for themselves, and we can't just pick up and go to some far off island for a month and leave them hanging. So we are somewhat tethered to home. And I have a son who's at college, and he comes home periodically. So there are a lot of different reasons why we're still tethered to being home, and we can't just pick up and leave for long periods of time. So while we will be traveling more, it's not like we have complete freedom to travel anytime we want to. So I really think I still want to work, but I didn't want to do it differently than when I was trying to build and pursue my career. I want to do it on my terms more. Of course, you can't completely do it on your terms, but I think working on contract is probably going to give me that additional freedom and separation when I'm not working. But it's going to be an interesting experience. I'm wondering if you can really pull that off, if pre-retirement can really work. I'm wondering if what I'm going to find is that there's a hard line between working and not working. If you're working, whether you're working on a contract or as a full-time employee, if that just, you just have to carve off a huge part of yourself and your time and donate it, or if you can, if I can find a really healthy balance between the two. Um, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting journey, and I'll continue to do videos on this as I progress through it and share them with you. I'd love to get your feedback, love to get your comments on what you're experiencing. Geez, if you've been doing this for a while and you have any suggestions on how to optimize this pre-retirement concept, I would love to hear from you. So like, subscribe, you know the drill. Try and get this video out to as many different people in the U.S. or around the world that are experiencing the same thing. Maybe we can share our thoughts and our ideas. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.